Let's begin. Today's topic for Monday, at least, is a common theme that guys I've seen have trouble with. It's creating the sense of urgency to get them to actually do something. I actually read on the public Discord, no less. Somebody said something akin to, I'm such a fucking loser. I desperately need help. I can't start anything. I can't finish anything. I have absolutely no drive, no motivation for anything. This individual was essentially just completely stuck without any will, any ambition, anything at all. And that literally was, reminding me exactly of this thought I had, which I think we've discussed before in the meetings, but I wrote it down in my notes. It says you have to create a need to develop a sense of urgency to push you into action. A lot of guys never create the need, so they never have a sense of urgency. Therefore, they never get into the action phase whatsoever. Okay, so it says, if you're sitting on the sidelines, waiting for the right moment, hoping that someone or something will light that fire under your ass, you're already losing. Life isn't going to hand you motivation on a silver platter, and success won't just walk up to your door and introduce itself. You have to create your own sense of urgency, a need so strong that it forces you into action. And I said in Monday's call, we're going to discuss or dissect why this sense of urgency is crucial, how to create it, and how to maintain it long enough to change your life. And then number one is the problem with comfort, why most people never start. And almost everybody could relate to this one right off the bat. Most people are stuck in their comfort zones. They're comfortable with their routine, their excuses, and their mediocrity. This is the silent killer of ambition. Comfort is the enemy because it keeps you still, stagnant, and complacent. You're living day to day, cruising on autopilot without any real direction. You're content with just enough. But here's the brutal truth. Comfort never leads to greatness. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. You're scrolling through your feed, watching others live the life you wish you had, and telling yourself you'll start tomorrow, next week, or when the stars align. But guess what? Tomorrow never comes because you're too comfortable with where you are now. You lack urgency because you haven't created a real need to change. You haven't put your back against the wall and forced yourself to fight for something. And that little paragraph there is the crux, the bane of everybody's existence. Because whatever situation is in your life, if you're living with your parents or you're depending on somebody or, we have like grandparents or whatever it is, your fallback plan, that plan B of if I fail, I could just go back to normal is so strong that it makes plan A pale in comparison. Okay. Your plan A isn't motivating you, doesn't have any urgency because your fallback is too damn safe. You do need to, in a metaphorical way, put your back up against the wall and put yourself in a do or die position, guys. Like the only time I've ever experienced massive changes in my life, and there's a couple that I could point to, deciding to go to California for college, leaving my family behind, was one of the most explosive periods of growth. I lived in a span of 4 years, more life than most people live in their full 80 plus years. I experienced things that I couldn't even begin to describe. All the red pill content that you consume from me, all the wisdom that you may think I have gained, all, the experience day to day dealing with people, the being able to talk, the gift of gab, all these ideas and whatever terminology and concepts floating in my head, all basically spawned from 4 or 5 years of living on my own and basically turbocharging my life. I left with a couple $1,000s in my pocket, if that. I think it was $1,400, something stupid. And I literally put myself in a do or die position. There was no option for fail. There was no plan B. Plan B didn't exist. I couldn't just go back to living with my parents because that was already a mediocre life where I was going to end up being nothing and nobody. I was sick of my phone never ringing. Nobody would check in on me. I was turning into a hermit. I was gaming all day. I was seeing that my life was leading into basically those videos that we cover where the guys are hermits and like, I'm 41. I have no friends. I have no girlfriend. I have no kids, no nothing. I was headed in that exact direction. So that was one massive change. 2 was when I started the business. I got all the opinions of everybody from family to friends to people I barely knew. I was telling my plans to everybody and I was met with negativity, with doubt. Nobody was supporting me except very few people that I consider my brothers today. And everybody wanted me to stay in my lane and not risk my money and not risk failing because at the time I didn't understand. It's not that I can't do this or they think I can't do this. It's that they're projecting onto me their feelings of inadequacy that they can't do what I'm talking about doing. They're nervous about the steps I'm taking forward. They may have thought of doing it before, but they failed or never even started whatsoever. So they'll regurgitate their innermost feelings and emotions out onto me. in order to soothe themselves of why they never got started. So I decided not to listen. And of course, fast forward yet another period where I grew a tremendous amount. And then in those next 3-4 years, my life radically altered yet again. And fast forward, we are here talking right now in a private community. Those were two pivotal moments in my life where there was do or die moments. I had no plan B. This had to succeed. And if it failed, I would end up homeless with nothing. That's the position you have to put yourself in. My urgency was created through pure fear of ending up with nothing, being a complete failure, a shame to my family, yada, yada. It goes on and on. So the solution here is you have to manufacture discomfort, just the way I did. Cut the safety nets, burn the boats, and put yourself in a position where failure is not an option. When you have something to lose, when you've got no other choice but to move forward, that's when urgency kicks in. The pressure has to be on. A lot of people today talk about like handling pressure and being under pressure and trying to relieve pressure and live a pressure-free lifestyle with no stress. That's bullshit. You have to be under stress and pressure in order to transform yourself into something different. There's no such thing as massive change in your life, massive transformation without a ton of pressure being applied to you. It's the literal definition of going outside of your comfort zone because that's the only way you can grow. You're right now stuck in a little box that you deem your safe place. Your day-to-day hobbies, your day-to-day actions, all that stuff is a little imaginary box in your thing called life. You're not growing because you refuse to step out. Or if you do step out, it's only for a little bit and then you go right back in your box. That is why you make a little bit of gains here and there and maybe you lose it. You have to learn to perpetually being comfortable with the uncomfortable. Once you learn to live outside the box full time, permanently, that's when life starts to be magical for everyone. Okay. And by the way, as you live life outside the box, like everything else, the human body, the psyche is an incredible thing. It may seem daunting. It may seem scary. It may like elicit a ton of fear out of you, but like all things, it gets numb. The more and more you do something, the more numb you become to it, the more acclimated you are to the fear, to the emotions. It turns into stepping out of the box is just another day. Stepping out of the box doesn't even elicit an emotional response. Stepping out of the box is just something you do, period. It's like brushing your teeth. There's nothing there. There's no excitement. There's no fear. There's no doubt. There's nothing. It just turns into like a behavior like going to the gym. It's just clockwork. Okay. And then number 2 here, we have understanding urgency, the psychological switch. Urgency isn't about being busy. It's not about filling your schedule with meaningless tasks or setting deadlines you won't stick to. Urgency is a psychological switch, a state of mind that says, if I don't do this now, the consequences are severe. It's that feeling you get when you're late for an important meeting or when you're spitting or sprinting to catch the last train of the night. It's an instinctual drive to act immediately because delays equal disaster. In life, most of us don't create those kinds of high-stakes scenarios, so our brains don't feel the need to switch on the urgency mode. But here's the kicker. Urgency can be trained. It's not something you're born with or without. It's a skill you can develop by deliberately putting yourself in situations that demand it. And I give guys like a couple points of how to trigger urgency. Set real consequences. So make the cost of inaction too high to ignore, whether it's a financial penalty, a loss of opportunity, or public accountability. Create real consequences that make inaction painful. So for example, the public accountability one is very easy to do for everybody here. Tell your friends, tell your family what your plans are, what you're hoping to achieve by what date. Basically, you're putting yourself in a position that if you don't do what you say you're going to do, you're going to look like a loser. You're going to look like a failure. You want to tell these grand plans you have to people you actually respect, to whose opinions matter. Don't go tell them to your little brother or sister or something like that, or people you don't actually care about. Tell them to the people you hold near and dear to you, the people whose opinions you value greatly, and tell them honestly what you're trying to do. Listen, dad, listen, mom, listen, bro, listen, whoever. Here's my plan. I'm really going to go at this 100%. If I fail, this is going to be gut-wrenching. I need to tell you this to help myself be accountable. There is no outs. I'm not going to dip my feet and do this. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to devote 100% of my effort into trying to achieve what it is that I'm telling you I'm trying to achieve, so that you can judge me harshly on the fact that I'm such a loser. I'm such a piece of shit. I broke a promise to myself, and I want you to know that I did that. That you have to make it sting your ego. Point 2 on here is deadlines with teeth. Set deadlines that actually matter. If you miss them, something significant has to happen. It could be a missed chance at a promotion, a loss of credibility, or even a bet with a friend where money is on the line. The point is, there's got to be more than just, I'll get to it when I can. And the third and final point is visualize the cost of staying still. Spend time imagining the worst case scenario of not taking action. Picture yourself stuck in the same place 5, 10, or even 20 years down the line because you didn't do what you needed to do. Let that fear push you. And then point 3 here, we have why you must manufacture a need, and that's creating your why. The why that we talked about a few meetings back. The most successful people in any field didn't just stumble onto their success. They had a reason, a compelling, undeniable why that drove them to push harder, stay up later, and keep grinding when others quit. Your why is the anchor that keeps you grounded when the storms of doubt and difficulty roll in. Without it, your urgency will falter and you'll revert to comfort. And how to find your why, again, you have to dig deep. So surface level goals won't cut it. You can't just say, I need to lose weight or want to lose weight. It's that thing we said. You have to have an exact number. Or I want to make more money. Those are outcomes, not reasons. You need to ask yourself, why do I want this? What will change in my life? What happens if I don't get it? Keep digging until you hit something that makes your heart race and your stomach churn. Next point is make it personal. Your why has to be deeply personal and specific to you. It could be about proving something to yourself, taking care of your family, breaking a cycle of mediocrity that's plagued you for years. Whatever it is, it has to matter deeply and tie it to your identity. Your why should be so ingrained in who you are that not pursuing it feels like a betrayal of yourself. It's not just about achieving a goal. It's about becoming the person you're meant to be. And this identity tie down is extremely important because you don't go to the gym just because you want a good body or you want to lose weight. You go to your gym because you're the person that cares about their health and well-being. And that not going to the gym is betraying yourself to your core of becoming an unhealthy person who does not care about their fitness. So it's far beyond just something superficial that we said, the surface level goals. They'll never make it work for you long term. Okay. And then we have 4, the power of deadlines. So it's turning wishes into imperatives. We've all heard the phrase someday from people who never get anything done. Someday is a myth. It's a lie we tell ourselves to feel better about not taking action. A real deadline turns someday into a specific day, a date and time by which you have or you will have done what you set out to do, or you'll face the consequences. Deadlines force you to prioritize, to focus, and to eliminate distractions. They strip away the luxury of procrastination and force you to deal with the task at hand. When you know something must be done by a certain time, it triggers that sense of urgency. Suddenly, you're not just working, you're working with a purpose, okay? And how to create effective deadlines. We got another 3 here. Break down big goals. That's, self-explanatory, but a massive goal can feel overwhelming and make you want to put it off. Break that down into smaller actionable steps, each with their own deadlines. Set micro deadlines in your schedule. Along the main deadlines, the micro deadlines for each step of the process. This keeps the urgency alive at every stage. It could be, for example, you want to get to 50 kilometers ran this week. Well, just say that for this morning, you want to get at least a 5-kilometer run in, right? Or a 2-kilometer run in the morning and another 2-kilometer run at night. You don't have to do all 5 in one go if you don't have the time or the stamina yet, or whatever it is, your fitness level isn't high enough. You can break these bigger goals into micro deadlines as well. Something that needs to get done in the morning or by the afternoon, yada, yada, along with your other deadlines of throughout the week. I need to hit the check marks for this. Hold yourself accountable, whether it's through a public announcement, a commitment to a friend, or even a monetary stake. Make your deadlines count. If you don't meet them, there needs to be real consequence. So this is why we've always done the accountability buddies, especially in the Spartan Challenge, because you need to tag up with a guy that's basically doing almost the same thing you're doing. You feed off the energy of checking in with them and saying, hey, today I did this. Did you get to yours? Or vice versa. If you're feeling a little down, slow, maybe life's getting in the way and you need that nudge of, hey, it doesn't matter. There'll be days like this. Go get it. Like, check back in with me when you go finish your workout, whatever. Go do your run. So do your Spartan Challenge commitment, find an accountability buddy. And that's basically the accountability that we talk about for guys that have nothing and no one around them to help push them. That could be a good factor for guys. Number 5, leverage the fear of loss. And that's the ultimate motivator. Psychologically, we're wired to avoid loss more than we are to seek gain. This is known as loss aversion. It's a powerful motivator. if you know how to use it. The fear of losing something valuable, whether it's time, money, respect, opportunities, can push you to act in ways that promise a future gain simply can't. Using loss to create urgency. So you can stake money on your actions. Again, we talk a lot about, the financial penalties for inaction, but you can actually bet people that you're doing things, bet your wife, bet your girlfriend, bet your friends. You want to avoid looking like an idiot to your friends at all costs. So why not put $1,000 on you succeeding or failing at this goal? The fact that you have $1,000 riding on this and the stakes have been raised that much higher will help keep you accountable and also not looking like a complete clown in front of your friend. And it says public accountability. Announce your goals. That's basically to the group. You can start your own threads, guys, over here on the school community and just say my journey and lay out everything that you're doing. This is my journey. This is my thread where I'm going to keep everybody updated either every day or every week with whatever goals I have. If I need to lose 100 pounds or gain 30 pounds of muscle or, get my first job, save up my first $10,000, whatever it is, don't be afraid to put yourself out there in the community, put your face and your reputation on your goals and actively manage your own thread so that you could be a motivating factor for other people that maybe stumble on the community and go, holy fuck, Caleb's journey. Holy fuck, Chris's journey. Oh my God, Mario's journey. He's trying to get that done. This guy's trying to get this done. All these guys are logging in their days like fucking maniacs. Everything, the wins and the losses. And you get to go back, dude. You have a log book from the day he started his post to whatever the current day is. That's extremely powerful. Again, another motivating factor because you don't want to look like an idiot. Imagine making that big post and put effort into it if you'd like to do something like this. Imagine you have a massive effort of a post where it's like multiple paragraphs detailing out your life, why you are where you are, what you'd like to change, steps you're going to start to take. I mean, be fucking real and raw. Let it hurt. And then imagine the failure of you just like falling off a cliff in 2 weeks because the motivation's gone. The pats on the back are gone. People aren't checking in with you, right? They're kind of ghost reading everything and they're just seeing you grind out day by day by day. And if you slip up, everybody gets to see. Okay. And then the last one is visualize.
And if you need more eyes on, we have 1,000 people in the Discord right now. So 1,000 people to hold you accountable.
Yeah. And visualize missed opportunities. Think of the opportunities you'll miss if you don't act now. Whether it's a job, a relationship, or an experience, imagine how you'll feel knowing you let it slip away. And this is one of the big ones I use. It's called, I call it opportunity cost. There are doors that are opened that you can't currently see by walking through the door that's opened right in front of you today. You have an opportunity in front of you today, right now, that leads you down paths you cannot imagine. I would never imagine that leaving to California to go to college would get me this kind of experience, would get me a job that eventually landed me to start my own business, meet a woman that would eventually red pill me, make friends for life that would be my brothers essentially, meet other people that would be in my life permanently, others that have come and gone that have laid out decades of wisdom on me. I thought I was just going to go to school in a different part of, America and party a little bit and get my major, get in a little bit of debt, graduate, go work, find a woman, get married, have kids, blah. It turned completely different. Same shit. I thought I was going to start a business and I was going to be the, successful small businessman trope. And, we're going to work really hard, save up some pennies. Life's great, upper middle class America. And it leads into things open up for you, relationships, connections that you cannot imagine. You could get knocked into a completely different life altogether. YouTube was not in my bingo list at all. Let's see. 6, rituals and routines. Building consistent action through discipline. Urgency, isn't just a one-time push. It's a sustained state of mind. To keep it alive, you need routines and rituals that reinforce your commitment every single day. Discipline bridges the gap between fleeting motivation and lasting success. It's about creating a structure that supports your goals and minimizes the pool of distractions. Building a routine for urgency. For your morning routines, start your day with activities that align with your goals, whether it's exercise, reading, planning, or working on your most important task. Your morning routine should set the tone for a productive day. A simple one for runners that I like to do. Lay out your shoes. Lay out your socks, lay out all your other clothes. For the gym, same thing. Gym bag needs to be packed, ready to go. Protein shake in the fridge, already, good to go, mixed. Everything needs to be done. You have to remove any ounce of thought required so that the moment you wake up, everything's done and all you have to do is lace your shoes up, walk out the door and start your run. daily check-ins.
Yeah.
Evaluate your progress every day. Are you on track? What's working and what needs to change? These check-ins keep you accountable and focused. We know about daily check-ins. I stress them very hard on everybody. Nightly reflections. Again, this is tied into journaling. Again, part of the Spartan Challenge, because ending your day by reflecting on what you accomplished and what you'll tackle tomorrow is super important on keeping you on track. This keeps your urgency alive and primes you for action the next day. You should be going to bed excited at what you completed today, the days prior. You should be, it's got to be hard to sleep, man. You can't wait to wake up the next day and do it all again. Or the fact that you have this feeling that you're accomplishing something. Most guys are living life without any feeling of accomplishment right now. You don't have a clear path that you're working towards. You don't wake up every morning and go, holy shit, dude, I'm just one day closer to everything. I'm headed in the right direction. That makes everything exciting. Okay. And then embrace discomfort, the catalyst for growth. And we're almost done here and we'll go open forum. Here's a harsh truth. Growth happens in discomfort. You got to learn to lean into the pain to get comfortable being uncomfortable. When you push yourself into situations where the stakes are high and the failure is a real possibility, you build resilience. You teach yourself that you can handle more than you thought. And that in and of itself creates urgency. And here's quick 3 little ways to basically embrace discomfort. Challenge yourself regularly. Take on the tasks that scare you, right? Exposure therapy. Whether it's, I listed like public speaking, cold calling, that's for the guys that are doing sales, projects with other people if they're complex. Just make it a habit to do things you don't normally do. It could be as simple as going to the cafe and saying hello to people if you feel like you're introverted in nature, or the fact that you might be afraid to go to the gym because people will look at you and judge you for whatever reason. Start to numb yourself to all those irrational feelings by doing the very thing you're afraid to do. Okay. And then feedback, put your work out there and invite criticism. Again, this is all tied into potentially you starting that thread that you're actively managing your progress. People will naturally start to give you feedback and put their 2 cents in and challenge you. Perhaps you're not losing weight fast enough. Perhaps you're not getting, enough steps in every day. You could do more. People will see and give you feedback right away if you're bullshitting yourself. Feedback, especially the tough kind, can be a catalyst for improvement and urgency. And also set audacious goals. Don't set goals that you could achieve. Set the ones that make you sweat a little, that make you question if you can actually do it. The bigger the goal, the greater the urgency. And not only that, though, the bigger the goal, the bigger the excitement, the bigger the energy will be for, working through all the potential bullshit that may come up, all the roadblocks. Because if you're not excited for what you're doing, if the dream isn't big enough, you won't have any urgency and you won't have any energy for it anyways. You have to do things that actually matter for you. So simply saying like, I just want to lose 30 pounds when you could potentially maybe lose 100 in the same time frame, but you don't want to push yourself into that like hardcore degree of that means I need to eat clean like a fucking maniac, work every single day and absolutely have a transformative body in 6 months flat. I'll just do a little bit here and there. Just don't push it too hard. Most people are living well below their potential. That's you staying in that box of safety, right? Of comfort. 8, maintaining urgency. So how to keep the fire burning. Creating urgency is one thing, maintaining it is another. Over time, the initial spark can fade and the comfort of old habits can start to creep back in. To keep the fire burning, you need to consistently stoke it with new challenges, fresh perspectives, and reminders of why you started. Meditation and journaling, guys. Meditate on the vision of the end, what it looks like reaching the end goal, and journal your path every single day, the process of getting there. Okay, when you're journaling, you're reminding yourself also in your journal of why you're putting in all the work you're doing and how it's making you feel. Tips for sustaining the urgency. It says regularly revisit your why. Remind yourself often of the reason you started. Keep your why front and center and maintain that emotional connection to your goals. That's a very key thing here. They tell us to, as men, kind of ignore our emotions, don't use our emotions, or, suppress our emotions. That's bullshit. You need to harness them in a positive way. And by harnessing them through your imagination, like we say, visualizing crystal clear exactly the man you want to be to the point that it gets you emotional. That emotional connection that you're going to keep reminding yourself of daily is what sustains you, man. That is the fuel in the cauldron. That's the reason that guy has discipline versus you who doesn't. That's why that dude, no matter what the day brings forward, he's going to achieve his goals because the emotional reaction he's gathered from the thing he's chasing. And he can go there every single time shit gets hard. He can go right back to that feeling The reason you can't is because you don't feel anything for the thing that you're doing. Okay, set new challenges. Once you hit a goal, don't rest. Set a new one immediately. So basically keep building another mountain. Once you reach the top, a peak of one, build another mountain, another goal in life that you need to chase. Keep the momentum going by always having something to strive for. Professional athletes hit this one regularly when they reach the NBA or NFL or whatever. Their issue is they completely lose out on all motivation because they've reached something they've worked out for their entire lives. Okay. And then lastly, surround yourself with driven people. Environment matters. Surround yourself with people who are also pushing hard and chasing their goals. Their energy and urgency will rub off on you. So you are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with. You hang out with fat fucking slobs who don't do shit, game all day, you're going to be one of them. It's the reality of the situation. You can even hang around people that are actually go-getters, type A personalities, always pushing, always doing more, always talking about getting better, and that not rubbing off on you. Number 9, we're almost done. Okay. The role of self-talk, become your own coach. The conversations you have with yourself can either drive you forward or hold you back. Negative self-talk kills urgency faster than anything else. You have to become your own best coach, cheering yourself on, pushing yourself to do better, and refusing to let excuses take root. So somebody said earlier that they are imagining me basically talking to them, and what I would say in a consultation one-on-one when they're facing a challenge through the day of doing something or getting motivation. That's a good mental technique of how to coach yourself through your own bullshit. Sometimes you have to create an imaginary situation of, I'm sitting across from a man I respect, potentially. Imagine who that is. It could be your favorite movie star or character from a movie, video games, whatever it is. Imagine that person, that hero, is sitting down, looking at you and having a conversation with you, giving you advice of whatever it is that you're going through the day that's potentially holding you back. Okay? So you have to become your own best coach, cheering yourself on, pushing yourself to do better, and refusing to let excuses take root. And to master self-talk, challenge negative thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking you can't do something or that it's too hard, immediately challenge it. Replace the thoughts with affirmations of your ability and commitment. It really is a simple hack like that. Your brain is wired automatically through experience from childhood, probably, or those around you taught you to think in this manner that I can't do this. I don't know if I'm smart enough. Am I capable? Reverse that. I am capable. I am smart enough. I can do this. It's all bullshit. Why wouldn't I be able to do this? You have to delude yourself in the other direction. Visualize success. Regularly visualize what success looks like for you. Again, imagination, guys, visualization, super key. Picture it in vivid detail and let the image pull you forward. Again, it pulls you forward from the emotional response that it elicits when it's so vivid. And then use tough love. Stop bullshitting yourself. Look in the mirror. Sometimes you need to be hard on yourself. Call yourself out when you're slacking. Don't let yourself off the hook easily. If you wouldn't accept it from a friend, don't accept it from yourself. And 10, break the cycle of procrastination, action over perfection. And this is a problem most people have because they're afraid to look like noobs in anything they do. Procrastination is the ultimate enemy of urgency. It's the thief of time and the killer of dreams. The antidote to procrastination is action. Imperfect, messy, and uncomfortable action. The goal isn't to get it right on the first try. It's to get moving. Strategies to beat your procrastination is just starting. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect plan. Just start and adjust as you go. The act of starting builds momentum and makes it easier to keep going. Use the 2-minute rule. If a task will take less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. This small habit can snowball into greater productivity, and then set timers. Work in focused sprints with short breaks. This method, known as the Pomodoro technique, it can help you stay on task and reduce the urge to procrastinate. 11, the compound effect. So small wins build massive momentum. Urgency isn't about making one grand gesture or, one massive push. It's about consistent, persistent action over time, right? Be 1% better than you were yesterday. That's it. It's a small ask. But over time, the compounding gains are gargantuan. The small wins you accumulate daily compound into massive success. Each action you take builds on the last, creating a snowball effect that propels you forward. Track your progress. Keep a record of your achievements, no matter how small. This visual representation of your progress can fuel your urgency to keep going. And celebrate small wins. Don't wait until you reach the end goal to celebrate. Acknowledge and reward yourself for milestones along the way. Stay consistent. Consistency beats intensity. It's better to do a little bit every day than to burn out after a week of all-out effort. And then final thoughts, guys, turning urgency into a way of life. The sense of urgency isn't a one-time lifetime thing. It's a lifestyle. It's about waking up every day with a purpose, a drive, and a fire that says, I'm not wasting this day. It's about rejecting comfort, defying procrastination, embracing the discomfort that comes with growth. It's about becoming the person who doesn't wait for life to happen, but who goes out and makes it happen. If you want to achieve your goals, if you want to become the man you've always dreamed of, you need to create a need so strong that it pulls you into action. You need to develop an urgency that doesn't just whisper, but shouts at you every day to get up and get after it. The power is in your hands. The urgency is yours to create. Stop waiting, start acting, and make today the day you finally move with the speed and intensity that your goals deserve. By understanding the importance of creating a need and developing a sense of urgency, you can break free from the chains of procrastination that everybody is fucking dealing with. And comfort, the killer of dreams, okay? This is, for me, your call to action, guys. The life you want is going to wait for you. It's up to you to go out and seize it. And I say, let's get after it. So open forum, thoughts. And if you need to, go back, read some of those portions if they apply to you, and then share anything personal or any questions about this. So I'll leave it open to you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed today's topic. If you like guides like this or want to hang out with us in these calls, we do them 4 times a week. We'd love to have you guys. It's in the private community. Links are in the description below. Also appreciate everybody that's been doing private consultations. If you needed something more tailored, as well as guys that have been buying shirts, it helps us, support the channel directly and get up under from YouTube's thumb. So I'd like to thank you guys again for that support. Highly implore you, if you haven't, to join the community. We have the paid version that you're seeing here, essentially, where guys are chatting with me 4 times a week, but also a free one on Discord if you want to dip your toes in and hang out with a group of men that are trying to find their way in the world and light up the path in front of them and find some purpose and meet some other men that are struggling kind of with the same things. We're all living a variation of the same life. So appreciate you guys tuning in yet again. Thank you. Let me know some critiques for the episode, some things that you'd like to see, and see you guys next time.